Dear students. Through last two video lectures, we studied management and Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management. Now today, we are going to learn about Frederick Winslow Taylor's scientific management theory. Henry Fayol developed and explained principles of management which have the touch of social science, and F. W. Taylor developed these principles which have scientific touch. That means Taylor introduced his observations and experiments based on scientific data. Let us see who is F. W. Taylor. Frederick Winslow Taylor was an American mechanical engineer. He developed principles of management by doing various experiments while he was working as a chief engineer. His management theory involves the application of scientific approach to decision making and solving them at the same. Due to his contribution in management with scientific method, he is called as the father of scientific management. Remember students, F. W. Taylor is called as the father of scientific management. Now, let us see the definition of scientific management. Scientific management consists of knowing what you, that is management, want men to do exactly and seeing it that they do it in the best and the cheapest manner. With the help of this definition, we come to know that Taylor emphasizes on getting best performance done from employees by scientific method. Now, let us see these principles one by one. Number 1. Science, not rule of thumb. According to this principle, the manager should use the scientific method to determine every activity performed by the employee in the organization. According to him, instead of using trial and error method for determining the job, use systematic way such as data collection, analysis of data, and drawing conclusion. Taylor said that you have to calculate the time required for each job by observing the employee as well as determining how much work can an employee perform in a day, so that time should be consumed and employees can work efficiently. Second principle, harmony, not discord. Harmony means balanced relationship between management and employees. When there is proper coordination between them, it will be helpful for the growth of business organization. Perfect understanding between employees and management will be helpful in creating healthy work environment and for achieving desired goal. Third principle, mental revolution. This principle focuses on change in the attitude of employees and management towards each other. Both of them know their importance in the organization. For achieving goal, proper coordination and cooperation is required, and this should be done from both sides, that is employees and management. According to this principle, it is expected from management that they should create suitable and healthy working conditions. Fair remuneration should be paid to employees. On the contrary, employees should perform their jobs carefully. They should not waste the resources. Next principle, cooperation, not individualism. This principle focuses on mutual cooperation between employees and management. Due to this, internal competition will turn into healthy working environment. Management should always consider the suggestions given by employees in decision making process. Similarly, employees must avoid to go on strikes and make unnecessary demands from management. They should treat each other as two pillars of the organization. Next principle, division of responsibility. According to this principle, while dividing the work, there should be the division of responsibility between the managers and the employees. It includes the nature and roles played by different levels of managers, and employees should be determined properly. That means the manager should be given the responsibility of planning, whereas the workers or employees should concentrate on the execution. This principle helps the employees to perform their best. Next principle, development of employer and employees for greater efficiency and maximum prosperity. In the growth of business organization, efficient participation of human resources are required. The performance of business organization always depends upon skills, knowledge and capabilities of its employees. To improve efficiency of employees, training is required whenever necessary. Therefore, training and development programs are required for employees. It will result into maximum prosperity of the business organization. Dear students, the principles of scientific management cannot applied unless the techniques of scientific management are studied. Therefore, let us see the techniques of scientific management one by one. Number 1. Work study. Before assigning the work to available employees, proper work study should be done by management. Work study consists of an organized, systematic and critical assessment of the various activities or functions. This work study is based on the techniques such as time study, motion study, method study and fatigue study. Number A. Time study. This technique helps a manager to calculate the time required to perform a particular job. This helps manager to take decisions about production. This enables the manager to ascertain the standard time taken to complete a specific job. B. Method study. There are always various methods of completing the task. As we already learned that avoiding wastages would result into increasing profitability. This method study helps in reducing wastage of time, raw material and other resources. It is helpful in determining the methods for handling the raw materials, transportation, inspection, etc. Next, C. Motion study. Motion means movement. This motion study includes the movement of employees as well as of machine while completing a particular job or task. It is helpful in eliminating unnecessary motions and finding the best method of doing particular job. It also helps in improving the efficiency of the employees. Next, D. Fatigue study. Fatigue means physical or mental stress. Generally, in some business organizations, there may be long working hours without sufficient breaks, target pressure, heavy working tools, and poor working conditions, which will result into fatigue. It has an adverse effect on the health and efficiency of employees. Therefore, this study of fatigue is very important to maintain efficiency of the employees. Next, second technique, that is standardization of tools and equipments. The management should provide good quality of tools and equipments used for production of a good quality. This helps the workers to perform job efficiency. Secondly, the working conditions should be good so that the workers can give their best output. This technique minimizes the cost of production and makes best use of available resources. Third technique, scientific task setting. According to this technique, whatever work or task is assigned to workers or employees, they can complete it by fair way. Scientific work setting is important to prevent the employees from doing work much below their capacity. By using this technique, employees will complete the task according to standards given and management can keep proper control or optimum utilization of manpower. Fourth technique, scientific selection and training. While appointing person in your business organization, right person should be appointed for right job by using scientific method of selection. After selection, management should provide the proper training program to increase their efficiency. Next technique, functional organization. In this concept, planning is separated from implementation. Students, we know that planning is done by top level management and actual work is done by lower level management. And this work is supervised by middle level management. According to Taylor, for efficient work and best result, this work is supervised by each supervisor. For doing a particular job, the worker performs various small tasks. For example, for working on machine, firstly he have to collect data, that is raw material required, processing material required, other resources required, then he start machine for actual production. According to Taylor, each and every activity should be supervised by expert supervisor. This technique is exactly opposite of Fayol's principle of unity of command. According to Fayol, there should be one boss for worker, but according to this technique, for one worker there can be many supervisors. Taylor says that work can be done accurately by this technique. Next technique, differential piece rate wage plan. As earlier, we learned that proper person should be placed on proper place so that the business organization gets good results. According to this technique, Taylor suggested that remuneration should be paid as per the efficiency of employees. The employees who works hard and sincerely, they should be paid higher remuneration so that the other employees can be motivated to work hard for higher remuneration. It will help the organization for its growth. Students, today through this video lecture we learn the scientific management. With this we finished our first chapter, that is Principles of Management. Hope you got all these things well. Thank you, students.